What's up, guys? Hope everybody had a fantastic week. uh, Another week gone by, and there's a lot going on. So I don't want to, you know, there's a lot of things. First off, um, I want to recognize somebody in our community who is needing help right now, and the channel name is um, comic. Oh man, I gotta look up I forgot the channel name here. Forgive me. I should have been more prepared here. Um, Give me just a sec here as we get. I'm gonna actually share his channel so you guys uh, can go help him out. Um, Give me just a sec as I find his channel here. But I hope everybody's been good. It's been yeah, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. It's, I think, been kind of stressful for a lot of people, more so than normal. And I just hope everybody's doing okay. I mean, like, mentally okay. Um, it's like some challenging times right now. And I think we all got to stay positive. And comic books, I think, help. I think comic books help. But yeah, so let me share. Give me just a second here as we highlight this community member here. Many of you probably follow comic tropes, and he's been going through some rough times here. Let me give me just a second here. So, for those of you, okay, here we go. Hey, what's up, collector? Hey, what's up, Jens? So, shout out to Jens. He got his channel started, and really, so far, so good. I mean, it's I gotta say, it's like already one of my favorite channels. And Jens and I are gonna hook up this weekend, and we're gonna do more comic book hunting. And yeah, really, I just want to hang out with Jens. I got my Sunday free. My wife and my son have some plans without me. That's okay. They got some spring break plans with some people, and so I'm free to kind of do what I do my own thing on that day. But let me. I want to focus on comic tropes. Uh, he's got a very really good popular channel. Um, Chris, he's a local guy. I've never really, um, I've never met him, but I know people around me that know him, and he's pretty big in our area as not only a YouTuber, but um, as a comic aficionado. And you know, he there are channels out there where you like kind of tune in to see what their collection's all about. There are some channels out there that you tune in because they're a resource. Uh, But yeah, comic tropes is definitely one of those like informational. He's well read and researched on topics. He puts out very curated material, and here's a great example. He does this uh, piece on the origin of how he goes over every sort of major kind of story arc for the character of Wolverine, like things that were good, things that were kind of questionable. I think a lot of the stuff that's basically saying a lot of the origin of him as a kid isn't really necessary. Wasn't It's not an arc that it's this whole origin Deadpool with Wolverine had origins kind of movies. He's like kind of critical of that. But what makes Wolverine such a beloved character is just the mystery surrounding his actual origin, right? Like where he comes from, who he is. He doesn't remember much of it. He's kind of piecing it together. But anyway, great video here. Please go give it. First off, give him a follow, subscribe to him. And if you're in a position to give, he has a GoFundMe page here set up on this channel, on this video actually. He recently his house got flooded. There's a lot of damage, and his insurance isn't covering it. And he goes into detail on how he's trying to manage this situation. He is having to eat into his savings, and it's affecting his finances, and he needs some help. So please, if you're in a position to give and help him, please go and do so. Great guy, great channel, and yeah, again, he could use our support. So if you can help him, please do. And yeah, with that being said, let's get into Otaku Weekly here. As I mentioned, Jens and I are going to be comic book hunting on Sunday. So I should have some kind of haul video at the end of that day. Right now, I've let me show you my comic budget here. got now. I spent a dollar. I spent a dollar last time on my last hunt, and I've got $7, $7 to my name right now for the comic budget. Now, um, I'm hoping to have like a summer comic budget of like $200. What's up, fanboy? What's up, man? Um, and I'm hoping to have a summer budget of $200, but that's not anything guaranteed right now. And but I think I'll get it because, as you know, every summer my wife goes to Japan to spend with her family, and my son goes with her. It's kind of their excursion, and they spend, because Leo's on summer break, so they spend a couple months out there. While I joined them last year just for like a week, but for me, like I can't take the time off, and most years I just don't have the budget to for it to be a family trip, unfortunately. And so, but one of the nice things is like my wife really feels for me being alone for a couple months. And, in the past, I've actually worked to build comic budget for the summer. But as of late, my wife's just kind of like, you know, you can have a budget of 100 or 200. This way that, she just doesn't want me to like bust my back working um, and doing all that just for, you know, yeah, she wants me to just kind of like take it easy while they're enjoying their vacation. I can kind of not have to work 24/7 just to have a comic budget. But yeah, we haven't talked about like what my budget will be this summer, but I'll probably get something. Um, and I feel like $200 is kind of right where I want to spend. I don't want to spend more than that. Um, just because then I start having real sort of guilt or like issues with like I shouldn't have spent that on comic books. I should have gone to other things. But right now, not that our finances are in complete disarray, but I feel like we've made some appropriate sacrifices. And again, we got really lucky with my wife's vacation planning that she had done it before this whole war thing broke out. And also, a lot of it is kind of through rewards, mileage type perks. So, yeah, yeah. What will it be? It's going to be Superman again, hopefully. Even though we've kind of moved on from the summer of Superman. Um, that's a great question. I guess we'll just have to get to summer to see. We got Supergirl coming out. Jens and I have already we kind of already have some stuff mapped out. There's a local show that we're hoping to hit in May. And that's kind of right at the start of summer, I guess, just like precedes summer. That's a $15 admission. And so the idea is you're at least going to get that in terms of discounts and whatnot. Um, but I would imagine that show, if I have a $50 budget, let's say 15 goes toward admission, and then I've got 35 to pick up books. I feel like that's okay for a show, right? $35 budget. Because I feel like I can pick a lot of this stuff that I'm not as much into. Like, I think my collecting um, tendencies have changed a little bit, and I think it's natural for it for a lot of people. But like I'm very conscious of volume now. It's like I'm just not going to add books just to be adding books, and I might have done that in the past, but now I'm just trying to add, you know, specifically what I collect, which is like Superman kind of tangent books, Neil Adams, Jim Lee, and even the Jim Lee stuff. I'm kind of tapered off on, like, just rather than picking up anything and all Jim Lee, I'm kind of like being very selective. So it has to be like um kind of more, that's why it's like harder to collect Jim Lee stuff now, because I feel like I have a majority of the majority of the stuff I want in my collection. I already have it. There's not a lot of Jim Lee stuff outside of maybe some of the higher priced variants. Some runs that I still have to. I thought I finished the Batman All Star Robin, but it turns out I don't have two of the books. So there's two things I have to pick up there. But like even those two books, if we run into them in dollar bins, that's really the only scenario where I target those books. If they're like $2, maybe. But yeah, the sweet spot is like $1 or under for those two particular books. But I'm missing issues 2 and 3 in that run. I thought I had it, but I might have accidentally like it might have been a box or somewhere. I just looked everywhere and I couldn't find those two issues. So anyway, but yeah, that we're trying to get that finished off, and yeah, it's just weird to kind of like, I don't know. I think $200 this summer. It's just gonna. Part of the fun is not knowing what you're picking up. You could have things on your wish list, want list, but that's tough. It's like you go out, and the fun is really hunting and finding stuff you like, right? So when you have to go through that whole, oh man, I really like this book, it's at a great price, but it's not something I really need. When you run into that kind of scenario, it's tough. And I feel like I've been good about that. I've been really, first off, if you watch my channel over the course of how long I've been doing this, I used to kind of just go to the, like go to Mill Geek Comics or go somewhere, pick up a bunch of like 50-cent books, 25-cent books, and kind of show off hauls, and that used to be kind of what I did. I'm doing that. I'm not doing that as much now. In fact, I'm rarely doing it. I This year's been probably the slowest year in terms of my collecting, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that we're kind of looking into our exit strategy, like moving back to Japan. And in the event we do that, I really only have so much room or bandwidth to take books to Japan. I mean, my place is small right now, um, but in Japan, it would be much, much smaller. And yeah, I mean, my wife's like, you know, you're not going to take all the books, so you might as well like try to sell them or do something with your collection right now. And again, I put a lot of thought into like how much I could physically take in one kind of flight and then leave with my buddy here um, until I came back and could take the rest. So really talking about max like six short boxes of comics, meaning 3 I take with me when I leave, and then 3 I come back for. And it really is, I'm way beyond that right now with what I have. So it's put a real big wrench into I have to pare down what I already have. And then there's the desire to continue to pick up more and all that. So it really, it's just like counterintuitive right now. And yeah. Um, so again, the goal with the whole $200 budget is to keep me occupied this summer from doing dumb other stuff or just being bored out of my mind. But at the same time, like kind of pick stuff up and then figure it out, like be able to trade stuff, maybe like trade up for stuff, or even just give a bunch of stuff for, I don't know, for books I really, really want, And so, yeah, it's still kind of I'm figuring it out. I'm figuring it out. Yeah, that's a great question. So they do have American comic books in Japan, but they're more kind of modern books. Um, it's hard to find like older back issues. Like you're not going to find a lot of Silver Age, Golden Age type books. I mean, most of it's going to be 90s, maybe 80s stuff. But what's interesting is, Marvel and DC have been competing against manga for quite some time. So you do see the Japanese uh, market books. So, like books specifically targeted for Japanese audiences. So you'll see a lot of it is in trade paperback form already, but you do see like magazine type comic books that were published again as early as like the late Bronze Age, Copper Age, definitely into the modern age. Um, books that again are in Japanese language, translated for the local market there. but it's never really been popular in Japan. And part of that reason is because people just love manga. And when they look at American comic books, they don't, the way it's formatted and structured, and a lot of the characters, they just, it's like there's no connection to that. So it's really hard to get. It's kind of like asking people who enjoy a certain genre of music to enjoy another genre of music that they, you know, it's interesting, but this is what they like, and kind of weaning them off what they like for something that's different and not their cup of tea. That's kind of the best analogy for why um, I think American comic books struggle in Japan. Now, you have the same problem here. Like, there are a lot of American comic book readers who don't like manga, or maybe never read a manga book. But I think there are more like manga converts here than there are like American comic book converts there. So, and again, that has a lot to do with the quality of the stuff coming out of Japan. It's compelling stuff. Like, a lot of the manga there is just so diverse and broad, but it's really well done. Like, sequential art in Japan is paced so beautifully, and it really is like a movie. Whereas American comic books, it's kind of more like just flash and a lot of action and vibrant colors and visuals and vivid action-packed panels. But in Japan, it's thoughtful, structured, it's intentional. So it's nothing really. I mean, you'll have flashy stuff, but it builds toward it. It's not like every page is like trying to outdo the next panel. It's like it's intentional. So they're building a story, and you really got to follow it. So just paced differently. It's different, and it's all in black and white in Japan. They rarely color stuff, so you just get volumes and pages of comic book art that's just simple ink. Like, it's just inked panels, black and white inked panels, and there's something to be said about that. There's just like a basic simplicity that makes it beautiful. But I do appreciate American comic books because of the color. I mean, the color just makes it pop. But yeah, just two very different styles of comic books there. But yeah, this again, I just want to mention again, go support Comic Tropes, okay? And let's help Chris out. Chris is kind of going through some rough times here with his house flooding. He's lost a lot of his collection. And so, he's set up a GoFundMe page. Please help out if you can. I mean, if you're not in a position to help, just at least go ahead and get, subscribe to his channel, get his viewership up. He's got 266,000 subscribers. I mean, that's how popular his content and channel is. I mean, he's very knowledgeable, and he really deep dives into artists, writers, history of comic books. Um, it's just a wealth of information there. So again, go give him a follow and support his channel. And then, yeah, if you can financially help him out, please contribute what you can. And yeah, wishing you the best, man. Uh, Again, he's a local guy here, um, very supportive in the community. And up until now, um, he's just been a great community member. But now he kind of needs, I mean, what I meant to say, he's been a great, supporter of many, many channels in our community. And now, he's in a position where he needs our help. So hopefully you guys can go and do that. All right, well, let's get into this week's SuperOtaku Weekly Top 10. It's been kind of a weird week in terms of like content and news. Not a lot's happened, but there was one big, I guess, update, and that was the Supergirl trailer. Kind of a more story-driven trailer was released, and so we kind of have a better idea of what's going on in the movie, which is kind of cool. So we'll just start there. I mean, again, there's a lot of stuff happening as we move toward the summer. So I guess we'll kind of cover all that stuff as we get to it. So yeah, the trailer dropped and it's revealed that, the Supergirl movie will deal with an antagonist who has kind of shot Krypto with some kind of poison. And there's an antidote. And so if they don't get the antidote, Krypto is going to die. So it's a race to save Krypto's life, which I think is brilliant. First off, we know Krypto's not going to die, right? We just know he's not going to die. So that's that. But what we really do, what think the point here is not that Krypto's dying, but it's the fact that this event really leads to Kara making a choice that, no, I'm not losing another loved one. I'm not losing a loved one, basically, like, and doing everything in her power to save his life and kind of make things right. So I think again, I like the way the story's set up. I think at this point, there's not a lot of mystery. I don't think there are going to be any like big reveals. You're not going to have like, the Justice League show up at the end or anything like that. It's pretty straightforward. I think it's going to be a really heartwarming story. I think it's going to have a lot of action, a lot of fun. Already the Momoa Milcock, the Momoa Milcock chemistry, you can kind of feel it in the trailer a little bit. So I'm sure the scenes that Gunn hasn't actually written anything for this, but the scenes that the the director and the producers of this film have kind of fleshed out or built for this project are going to be just really entertaining. So yeah, I think now that we're getting closer to the release date, I'm pretty hyped about it. And again, the latest trailer looks really, really promising. I didn't see anything, you know, questionable or um, nothing leads me to believe if I go see this movie, I'm going to come out of it hating it, which is good, right? And I think, if anything, it's going to endear us to these characters more, and especially Krypto. I think, again, like I think I said a while back, um, in fact, last year when the movie came out, I said, you're going to get a lot of Krypto. You're just going to get a lot of Krypto because it's he basically is um, he's a hit with every demographic, right? Especially the kids. Um, and he's just, he's kind of like, we all know dogs like that. Just the puppy that um, is it more of a headache than anything. But at the end of the day, it's like he's a puppy and he's lovable, and you just gotta, it's like can't stay mad at the dog, and it's that kind of character. So yeah, again with the Superman movie, Krypto really was the runaway star in that movie, and now he's kind of taking the spotlight and stage in this story as well. But um, where it was more like, oh man, like Krypto um, getting into kind of some trouble in the Superman movie. Like this one, he's in real dire straits. He's going to be um, if Kara can't get the antidote, he's gone. Now we know that it's not going to happen, but it's like it's uh, creating that creating that dramatic tension through this lovable character. Again, I just feel like he's going to be more endeared toward us, given that we're going to get the puppy background and this relationship between him and Kara, how special that is, the bond between, you know, uh, a dog and its owner. So yeah, it should be a fun thing, a departure from what we're used to seeing in comic book type movies. Um, this exploration of how pets are, um, what they mean to us, and uh, yeah, I mean, we have a cat, and our bond with the cat is just so strong. We just can't imagine. I mean, my wife and I, we just shudder at the day we lose our cat. I mean, that's just going to be like, I know I have to hold it together for my wife's sake and my son's sake, because they're going to be very distraught, as will I. But I probably have to, like, I'm going to be the one to like deal with the removal of the body, and you know just dealing with the whole process of um, yeah, just you know um, there's really no pet burial type scenario here where I live. you just have to pay some fees and have animal services here just kind of get rid of. I think they do some kind of cremation or something like that where you can maybe get the remains of the pet, but I think even that is like, I don't know, it's a whole process and their fees and stuff. But you got like my wife, my son, they're not gonna have want to deal with that at all. They're just gonna be so distraught when that day comes. And again I have to kind of probably deal with all that, but it's not something where we just want to not think about it. And it's always tough to have to plan and foresee things like that because any loss in the family is just so devastating. And yeah, I mean, anyway, I don't know why it got so so depressing all of a sudden. So, let's not dwell on that. All right, the next book we're going to show off is there's been some rumblings about Deadpool and Wolverine showing up in the MCU. And now, technically, um, the last Deadpool movie is technically set in the MCU. And yeah, Wolverine's. So okay. Let me clarify that statement. Deadpool and Wolverine currently exist in the same timeline as the shall we say the multiversal setup for Secret Wars and Avengers Doomsday. So they're in that timeline and they're going to make their way into probably Avengers Doomsday. Whether we'll see them in Avengers Doomsday or not is remains to be seen, but they will more likely than not be part of Secret Wars. So yeah, I mean, which is to be expected, right? You knew with the success of Deadpool, Wolverine, that those two characters are probably going to be back in some form or another. And again, I just wanted to showcase this cool 90s book of probably the most you want to talk about probably the X-Men event of the 90s. It's Fatal Attractions, this sort of 2-issue arc. So these are the two books. This is 9, 8. This is actually comes before, and then this is the aftermath of it. And that's where Magneto just rips the adamantium out of Wolverine's body. It's really funny how Magneto does it too, because Magneto's like Magneto's never like there's no animosity toward Wolverine or anything, right? It's just always kind of been like more enmity toward Xavier because they were friends, and then their vision for how humans and mutants were to coexist just diverged. And of course, Magneto had a very sort of nihilistic view of um, this, you know, coexistence, whereas Charles was the more hopeful one. But yeah, Magneto never thought of Wolverine as a threat. Well, in this issue, Wolverine um, gets close to like, you know, um, really doing some harm to Magneto. And Magneto kind of takes, he kind of says to Wolverine, like, you know, enough of you. Like, basically, hey, I've never really had beef with you, but you know what? Um, you've annoyed me to the point where, like, I probably should have done this a long time ago. I just need to, like, render you um, not a threat, and basically just, uh, again, kind of neuters him. Um, and he kind of takes this attitude like, I'm doing you a favor, man. I'm just like, they experimented on you and did all these horrible things to you, so I'm just gonna like kind of undo what these humans have done to you. But at the same time, just kind of like the way he does it, it puts Wolverine into this like traumatic shock, and they don't know if he's going to survive and all that. So it's pretty dire stuff. And again, you know, Magneto's just kind of like, you little man, I've kind of let you, I could have done this a long time ago. You were never a real threat to me because of the way you're structured. But let me just show you how really powerful I am. And so you don't think you actually have a shot against me, and just does this to him. And like, it's the most kind of gut wrenching show of force. And Wolverine literally is like, he's kind of just, what's the word? Just manhandled by Magneto here. Speaking of manhandling Wolverine, we just got to cover that we're getting season 2 of X-Men 97. And I think a big, character that they're going to focus on for that series is Mr. Sinister. So I just wanted to highlight this book. And, Jens has been he's been pressing books and kind of practicing getting better at pressing and all that. And actually, this is a book I want him to press for me, because one, it's in really bad need of a press, first off, but two, I just feel like it's would be good practice. Now it is a detached cover. I'm not expecting anything miraculous. I mean, he really just could just press the cover, and he doesn't have to necessarily press the book. Just press out the cover. So it might be good practice, because the cover is off, for him to try to remove the water stain and I don't know what your thoughts are, Jens, but I'll have you kind of look it over and figure out what you want to do. Now there's, someone colored this here red. I don't expect any of these pen stuff marks to come out or anything, but there is a water stain here that, if you feel like experimenting and taking on how to remove stuff like that, by all means, yeah, use this as a, again, I just, all I'm expecting is just the cover to be pressed. The book necessarily doesn't have to be pressed, but if you want to take a stab at that, by all means do so. It was just a low grade copy. I got this for like $5, but yeah, it should look really nice with the press. All right, Jens. Nice. Yeah, do what you got to do. If you can get that stain out, uh, even better. I don't, for me, that's a plus if you do something there, but really all I would, the bare minimum I ask is just that this gets pressed to where, you get all these little minor, you see all the little creases there. That just looks cleaner, and just put it back on the book here and it'll look better than before. But yeah, it's a low grade book, and I don't expect miracles. I just want to make sure you get some good practice in. I know you've been trying to get beat up books and work on those, but this is a beat up book for you. Right. Where are we? We're on 10,987. All right, this is issue number 6. I just wanted to highlight She-Hulk. There's no She-Hulk news. There's no She-Hulk spec. I just feel like She-Hulk's died with the last She-Hulk series. You really had everybody hate the She-Hulk series. I think everybody came out of the woodworks just to hate on the She-Hulk series. But I'm here to tell you, let's not let that series kill She-Hulk, because She-Hulk is great. And yeah, I mean, She-Hulk's was one of the great, this burn run is one of the great things about the 90s era. And yeah, we got to celebrate that. We can't let one failed project dictate. And this tends to happen in comic books, right? You get some, you get like a bunch of Zack Snyder fans trying to define who Superman is, or what, how, who should be the arbiter of Superman content for the whole world. No, that's not how it works. Okay. You go back and read a comic book like this, and you fall in love with She-Hulk again, and then you make sure that she's back in a project that we can all enjoy. So yeah, we're not going to let one failed television, season diminish this character in any sense of the word. So let's bring Renee back, and we're gonna run with whatever they choose to do in the next chapter of this character. So all right, well, I don't know, Jens, what do you think? Are we right? I'm for that, because we know Hulk is going to be back. The we know the Mark Ruffalo Hulk is going to be back. So I'm all for this is the weird thing. It's because like he was part of the She-Hulk series, and he was a great part of the She-Hulk series. Again, I didn't hate the She-Hulk series. I don't know why it garnered so much hate. Um, I do feel like they could have done it more in the '90s style rather than sort of having a modern take on it. Um, but it is what it is. But yeah, like I figure they're gonna redo this. It has to be kind of like it kind of has to be in the next phase of Marvel when they get maybe a new Hulk and a new, you know, new timeline for these characters. I just feel like you just can't bring the old actress back, and you know, it's just not going to fly that way. So we'll just have to see how they do it. But I'd love to see a She-Hulk movie. I just think we're gonna probably get some kind of cameo so that we know, oh, hey, She-Hulk's here, and then something's gonna happen where everything gets erased, and in that erasure, we're probably gonna get She-Hulk in some other form, maybe played by some other actress, and hopefully, um, that other version will have more of a following or fan base. But yeah, we're showcasing this book. This is Sam Keith's debut on Marvel Comics Presents. And yeah, we've kind of been on a Sam Keith kick ever since Jens and I. It was Jens actually. Jens uh, picked up a Sam Keith book on the day we picked it up, and then that day we got news that he had passed. And then there's just been this wave of remembrances, people looking back on Keith's career. A lot of the top creators just um, raving about how amazing his art was, and um, the Max series, how incredibly influential and meaningful it was at the time it came out. And so yeah, what's crazy is, like, I told you I recently had a trade, and I thought I had kept all the Keith books, but I think I did trade. I did trade some of those Marvel Comics Present covers by Keith. They were part of that trade, so I'm really regretting that part. I really wish I had kept that all intact. But I figure I have like 2 or 3 of those Marvel Comics Presents. Probably 2 books. One is the Joe Madureira interior art, his first interior art, and that had a great Keith cover on it. Oh no, it was a Madureira cover. Sorry, it was a Madureira cover, but it had the Keith artwork in it. And the other part was Origin of Wolverine's yellow suit, which is, I think, I want to say it's 90. Wolverine Comics Presents 90. It's along this in this, and it's got that great Keith cover on that. So those two books are no longer in my collection. I think they were part of the books I traded away. So like not every trade, you think, oh yeah, we're fine with getting these books away, and then something like Keith's passing happens, and you just realize, oh man, I should have kept those books. Not because they're going to be expensive or anything, but you know, those are cool books, and I probably would. Yeah, I think I want more Keith stuff, and so I got to be careful this weekend. I know I'm going to be looking for those two books that are no longer in my collection. And again, if we find them, it has to be at the right price. I think you know $1 is a good price for those two books, but we're not going to pay more than $1. Um, but I doubt those books are going to be the dollar bin. I figure if anybody's dug through a dollar bin recently, it's like those books are gone. Those dollar books are no longer dollar books. So, oh, I trade you 95? No, no, no. Hey, hey, no, no. That's not what I meant. You keep it. But I'm glad you have it, man. I know how much you like this artwork, so I'm glad you have it. Okay, I'm glad I know it went to you. But I was just kind of like I thought I had kept that one, but looks like I did trade it away. Jens, no, I do not want it back, so it's yours. But I'm glad you have it. Yeah, because I know you've been liking the. Is that what made you want to get the other Wolverine, the other Marvel Comics Presents book? Because if that's true, that's kind of cool, I think. Um, but yeah, that's a great book. That's a great book. That cover, that's a great cover. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Well, that's good to know. That because I had spent a portion of this week looking for those two books. I was like, I know I think I know I have these books somewhere. And then I couldn't find it, and I thought, oh yeah, I probably traded it away. And so I was kind of like, oh, a little bit remorseful, like I should have kept those books. But no, no, that I definitely don't want it back. It's yours. Um, and but that's the thing about a trade. Like, it's like um you shouldn't when you trade away books, it always comes with that caveat, like these books are not coming back to you. And even if you tell yourself, yeah, like maybe some of those books, if we ever get to a point like, oh, we can always pick them up again, right? Like that, you can always take that attitude toward a trade. But for sure, like that's the risk, right? When you trade away a book, the risk is it could always go up in value. It could always like something could happen, like so. You just got to deal with it. I made a good case in point. One of my slabs I traded away to Big B, and I'm just gonna bring it up again because it continues to to bug me. Is the boomerang, the Eric Larson boomerang cover, which is in the trailer for Brand New Day, and that's a trending book right now. And yeah, it's like I had that in a 9.6 slab, and I traded it away for like $60 in terms of value, which in hindsight, like if I had done it today, like I probably still would have traded it if it were this week and I was meeting with Biggie, but I definitely would have valued it at least 100, right? At least 100 for that book, because that's kind of like what it's going for now. As especially in a high grade type scenario. And that's a cool book. It's again, it's an Eric Larson cover. It's a key issue. It's the first Cletus Cassidy. It's got that yellow, beautiful yellow cover, uh, classic Spidey kind of web slinging Eric Larson cover. Uh, Beautiful, beautiful book. And again, I was kind of reluctant to trade that book away, but I was thinking, man, of all the slabs, I I may have to get rid of more slabbed books because of the space. But I was just like, of all the books in my slab collection, this is probably one I could do without, and I don't mind if I do have that book picking it up again, like it being raw versus like a 9.6. I'd prefer to have it raw actually than having it slab. So I was always thinking like, yeah, we could probably pick it up again. But lo and behold, we didn't know as soon as we traded it, they were gonna, like rip the cover and put it in the movie scene. Like that's the last thing you're expecting. And it is a book I own from my original collection. So that's another little like regret. It's like, when I was reluctant to kind of like add it to the trade, I was kind of like, it is part of my original collection. Should I just keep it? But no, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. And what I really would like to see is Biggie getting value out of it. As long as Biggie is able to sell it, and he better sell it for at least $100. Or, if he just sells it for like 20-30 bucks, I'll be pissed. But if he sells it for like $100, good for him, man. That helps him out. And so we're happy to say, hey, Damien, what's up? Long time no see, man. How you been? So, Damien, I don't know if you've been following along and stuff, but this summer, I'm hoping to come down and to Portland and hang out with you and go comic book hunting with you this summer. So I'll coordinate that with you offline. Okay, cool. But yeah, let me know if there's a specific date or time we should coordinate that. But I just want to come down when you have time. And I'm going to probably be coming down with Jens, who's our new comic buddy here at Collector Brain. Please give him a follow. But he and I are going to come down, and we want to hit as many dollar bins or all the, be coming down with a budget. I'll probably have $100 to $200, but the goal is to get as much Superman. And I know you know all the Superman spots. But yeah, have you kind of lead the way. We basically want your guidance on what are the worthwhile places to hit versus waste of time places to hit, right? So just give us your picks or your curated spots for Jens and I to pick up a lot of value, as well as pick up really good dollar bin, quarter bin, 50. The cheaper the better. But where you would point us towards, because that's the point. We're just going to go there with a given budget. And I know Portland's comic book scene is way, 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 way better than ours. I mean, I've been dying to just kind of hit the. I've seen a lot of people pick up books there, and I kind of uh, yeah, I was just impressed by um, the scene. I think you took psychotronic squirt gun to one of those places, and um, picked up a lot of dollar books, and there's a lot of value there. And apparently it's one of those bins that constantly gets dug through and refreshed and all that. So hopefully we can hit up one of those, and we'll see. Yeah, yeah. A lot of good spots. Top three store pop in mind. Okay, yeah. We'll be I'm looking forward to that. Come into your neck of the woods and spending some time with you. That should be fun. Um, yeah, and Jens and I are coming down there just to kind of, again, hang out with you and pick up books. Um, let's grab a bite to eat, and we'll spend the day. Hopefully, if there's like a show or something, that would be even better. Like if there's a comic show down there in the summer where a lot of those vendors will be there with discounted books and all that, that would be cool. We'd be able to kill, several birds with one stone if that were the case. So let me know if anything like that is kind of on the schedule for this summer, and we'll try to coordinate it that way. Very excited. All right, yeah, but yeah, just paying tribute to Sam Keith again. He so big during my collecting era, especially this '90s era. With he's one of the creators you don't get associated. You have all the Image guys, like you see the documentary. Liefeld, Lee, McFarlane. These are the guys that are household names, but people that actually collected in this era, they don't realize like Sam Keith was as household of a name as any of those guys, and in terms of his talent, man. Look at this again. It's all about the styling of Keith's art. He's got this very kind of brute force, but very detailed style about his work. Makes it very captivating, and very, there's a lot of power and kind of grotesque force in this artwork. So just really, yeah, I mean, you can't forget a figure like this. And that's the thing, like Keith, he came on like a rock star and just hit it out of the park with the Max, and just kind of became this like overnight comic sensation. And he wasn't really given, because of the success, I don't think he was really given a lot of bandwidth to do more outside of that, unfortunately. It's kind of like your one-hit wonders, right? You have such a big commercial hit, it's like they don't give you bandwidth to continue along a path where you have, again, opportunities to do things outside of what made you successful, right? It's kind of like you had this big, huge success, and you're kind of defined by it, and you don't you know, you're not given other opportunities to do things. Because he's done a lot outside of the Max. It's just it never he never had the success. He could never mimic it, and so he kind of became this sort of like one trick pony, which is the the worst way to kind of define his talent. He's not like a one trick pony. It's just like I don't know what it was, but all the subsequent stuff just didn't get the attention that the Max garnered, and that was kind of like an unfair. Um, but you see that with musicians, you see that with writers, you just see that with happen across the board. Sometimes even Christopher Reeve, right? Christopher Reeve, uh, as talented as an actor as Christopher Reeve was, the success of Superman, he couldn't he couldn't act his way beyond that role. It's like he was defined by Superman. So he made like what, five, 4 or 5 Superman movies that were all just not as good as the original. And he even talked about it as like it was kind of like he had become typecast, even though he had made every effort to like do dramatic roles and all that. Um, Great performances in those other roles, and he was highly regarded by his contemporaries and colleagues. But again, it's like he never could mimic the commercial success of Superman, and that's when kind of like he didn't have the opportunities that other actors did. And that's always a risk when you are early in your career, just defined by one really memorable commercial success. It can kind of be a curse in a lot of ways, and it really shouldn't, but it can kind of be. That's the way I look at like Keith's career. It's like he had this sort of hot start at Marvel. He comes to Image and just hits a home run, and it goes to TV, MTV series, and like the Max becomes this sort of like cool Gen X, you know, uh, it just becomes one of those like defining moments in Gen X pop culture, and yeah, and Keith got a lot of acclaim for that, and then not so much after that, unfortunately. Okay, cool. Yeah, keep your ears open for that. That would be really, because I mean, if I could bring down a bunch of books and trade them for stuff I want, that'd be even better, because then I don't have to spend money and I could offload a bunch of books and do stuff like that. So, right. All right. Well, yeah, um, some cool stuff out there. All right. We're staying with Daredevil is in full swing. Season 2 of the post Netflix Disney Plus series. And yeah, I'm not watching it, so I can't really speak to what's going on, but um, it sounds like a lot of people are enjoying it. Um, it's what's not to like about that series? You got Kingpin, you got a lot of violence, you got Daredevil back in the DD suit, the red the red suit. So should be good moving forward. Probably have a couple. You have Jessica Jones coming in. Some of the, you know, you have Luke Cage. You have what Iron Fist, um, Punisher. You have all these like street level uh, heroes and villains there in the series. Should be fun and hopefully lead towards something cool. Showing off my Mike Zeck signed Daredevil cover. I love this cover. It's just really, really cool piece of art. All right. And we got confirmation Sadie Sink is playing Jean Grey. So just wanted to stick with our 90s theme here, show off a cool Jean Grey Onslaught. This is the first appearance of Onslaught, I believe. Key book here. And yeah. This one kind of is a little bit like delves into sort of the dark side of it's like it, it's this notion that even the best intentioned of us, right? We all have our sort of dark evil side, like the side of us that we're not proud of. But it really explores that here, and that's that dark side of Xavier is what manifests into Onslaught, and so it's and yeah, it's kind of like it's messing with Jean Grey's mind, right? Because she loves Xavier like a dad and all that, and like she comes to realize, oh, what's this? Like he has all these weird thoughts and all that. Like it's just a weird book, and so kind of explores that dark side of the human psyche that we all have. Interesting story there. Jason Momoa, I mentioned it earlier, but gonna show off this late 80s, early 90s Kevin McGuire art here with Lobo. I don't know if you remember that show, Sheriff Lobo. There's a show called Sheriff Lobo, and it was I think it was like a Dukes of Hazard, like right? It was a Dukes of Hazard spin-off series, Sheriff Lobo. Just remember that being a weird. But yeah, we got Lobo. Jason Momoa looks fantastic in Lobo. And I honestly think, like, I don't know what there's really no set standard for Lobo's voice. It's whatever you as a reader imagine Lobo's voice to be. But Momoa definitely brings a voice to in the trailer. In the most recent trailer, you hear him as Lobo, and I'm not. I to be honest, Momoa could have just used his actual voice, but the fact that he's actually putting some kind of thought into what the voice would sound like, and it's kind of this raspy kind of do shit, it's just one of these what an interstellar maybe bounty hunter with like kind of like no class, just like a crass no class kind of character would gallivanting around the universe would sound like. And yeah, I just feel like there's no wrong take to that. It's whatever Momoa feels like this is the voice. I feel like he's gonna um, give us one of those like defining characters. Like, you know, you have Christopher Reeve as Superman, defining character portrayal. You have uh, um, you have Hugh Jackman as the defining character of Wolverine. Defining character. I doubt you'll. I'm not saying that someone can't come along and play Wolverine uh, better than Jackman, but we've yet to see it. We've yet to see it, and it's a tall order. Let's just put it that way. It's a very tall order to out Wolverine Jackman. I'm trying to think of some other, like, specifically in the comic book realm. Um, we've had multiple Batman, so everybody probably has their different preference on their take for Batman. I mean, I have my opinion, but it's really more than the actor. It's really about the director. I think Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy there is just hands down will never be topped. I don't think Christian Bale's the best Bruce Wayne or Batman, but he's definitely that whole project is tough to beat. But yeah, I'm trying to think of some other characters that are just like defining. Like it's going to be hard to redefine the character with a different actor. And again, those really are the only ones that come to mind. Because Psylocke, Olivia Moon Psylocke. I think that's going to be hard to beat. I'm not saying it can't be beat, but Olivia Moon Psylocke's going to be hard to beat. And I would like to see them try to beat it as many times as possible because I would love to see more Asian, hot, sexy Psylocke on the screen. Like, just give us as many hot Asian Psylocke women as you can throw at us, and we're down. I'm down with every version of that. So, yeah, give us more of that. Outside of those like characters, I can't think of any that are just like, I know a lot of people are going to say Robert Downey Jr. with Tony Stark and all that. We've only had one, so who knows? The next Tony Stark might be better. I don't think, to be honest, like the way Robert Downey Jr. played Tony Stark wasn't my concept of Tony Stark. If you've ever read the comics, Tony Stark is very cerebral. He's not like us, he's not like smart alecky. He's not making a lot of dumb jokes and stuff. He's really serious. He's kind of like kind of boring, like to the point of boring serious. Stark is. So it's a big shift from Downey playing him versus what's presented in the comic books. So I wouldn't say like I mean, sometimes when a character or when an actor portrays a character for the first time and it's good, we tend to like that's the defining portrayal or role. But mind, keep in mind that we've only had one Tony Stark in movies, so I don't want to like necessarily give Robert Downey Jr. the title or crown yet. So we'll see. I mean, nobody's walking around saying like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is the Spider-Man, right? It's like all the Spider actors that have played Spider-Man thus far have done a great job. I think Andrew Garfield is my personal favorite, but they've all been great. They've all had their different takes on it. So um, I think Peter Parker's one of those. You're just gonna see a lot of iterations of or actors playing and having people just latch on to their preferred actor for that role. I didn't particularly think, Doctor Strange, what's his name? Cumberland. Yeah, I mean, he did a great job, but he's not, I wouldn't say that's the definitive Doctor Strange portrayal. Definitely Fantastic Four. We've had even the most recent. I think the most recent one is a little bit more convincing than the ones we've had in the past, but nothing definitive there either. Hulk, nothing there just stands out as like the definitive. Yeah, I mean Thanos. You can make an argue for Thanos, I guess. I really hope they redo Cable because as great as Josh Brolin was as Thanos, he he just blew as Cable. I mean, that's not Cable. He was just way too. He's not Cable. Cable's first off a bigger dude. Cable would have been if you had gotten like Arnold Schwarzenegger or Dolph Lundgren to play Cable. That would have been probably a better casting than Josh Brolin. But yeah, they could redo Cable. There's so many like characters that kind of like you can redo She-Hulk, you can redo Cable. We need to redo Hal Jordan, Green Lantern. We've yet to see a real spot on Hal Jordan. Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, yeah. So far, so yeah. But I feel like a lot of people could play Deadpool. It's like I don't think Reynolds is necessarily the voice for the persona I'd put with Deadpool. You could have a lot of people actually play Deadpool. So that's that. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Like, who are some of your like was played to the T how it should have been. Like in terms of the character in the comic books, it's an accurate portrayal, the defining, character. That's rare. It's really rare. But I think you're going to have that with Momoa's Lobo. I think really you have an opportunity here to be like, no one's topping Momoa's Lobo ever. So we'll have to see how that plays out. All right, number one on our list. Again, I'm really looking forward to the Supergirl project. Everything I've seen thus far, I haven't seen anything that would make me come out of the theater disappointed. Looks like a fairly straightforward movie. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of kind of cute, poignant scenes with our favorite uh, super pet, Krypto. Again, you got Lobo. Probably going to have some big cut scene. We already know Corn Sweat's in it for a little bit of it. Um, but yeah, it's probably going to set up there's going to be probably a Brainiac reveal or tease at the end there to set up the next project, and should be fun. So yeah, I know Fanboy, you said what's going to be this theme this summer? What's up, Ron? um, I let's make it the summer of Supergirl. What do you say? You know, agree to disagree, or is that what we're running with? The summer of Supergirl, and if we can that should be fun. Yeah, 2026, the summer of Supergirl. We had the summer of Superman, and now we have the summer of Supergirl, and hopefully we see some Supergirl in bikini covers soon, or something along those lines. Oh dear, stay safe, Ron. Tornadoes are no joke. Yeah, I know. So do you have like one of those um tornado? I guess all households, that's like a necessity where you live, right? Having a tornado shelter in your home. Um, get to where it's safe. But yeah, I've never had to deal with tornadoes in my life. That's a good thing, I guess. Not every house has it. It's not like part of the building code down there. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, what's the protocol when you have like a tornado just in the neighborhood? Like, you just stay put, or like, what do you do? Like, you gotta stand next to a tree, or I don't know what's the protocol. I would imagine just head down to the basement then. It's scary. That is scary stuff. All right, well, stay safe, man. Um, yeah, I love this book. I just love it. Wolfman Perez. Count. Just look at the amazing artwork on this cover. It's just, oh man. This is a book you need in your collection. You're gonna find this in the dollar bin, or maybe pay $2-3 for it. But this is uh, this is kind of like a must-have. There's so many copies; it literally can be in every collector's collection, and should be for a good reason. Uh, it's one of the defining moments in comic book history. Uh, it's one of the most iconic comic book images, and yeah, I mean, it's two creators at the top of their game right here. Wolfman Perez. So many amazing comic books that they put out together, but this one is probably their crowning crowning achievement here with the death of Supergirl. So there you go, guys. Uh, that's the Super Otaku's weekly top 10 this week. If it's E3 or bigger, I just leave town. E3 is, I'm assuming, like killer tornadoes, right? It's like that'll like just rip through and shred houses and all that. Gotcha. Yikes. Yikes. It's crazy. But yeah, thanks for joining me, guys. Again, a recap of what I'm doing this weekend. Jens and I are going down to Tacoma. We are hanging out on Sunday, and we're gonna go down to Tacoma, and we're gonna hit up comic book shops down there. And before we go down to Tacoma, though, I kind of want to hit up All American Comics with them, and I don't know if All American Comics is open on Sunday. I got to check that, but I believe they are. And I just want to hit that place up because they've got a lot of sort of dollar bin, $2 bin books there, mostly modern. So I don't know if Jens would find too much value there, but they have a good dollar bin there, book there, just to pick up reader copies for practicing and stuff. So I know they've got a lot of raw, out of the bag and board, just kind of raw reader copy books there for $1. So Jens, if you want to just hit that place up to kind of have stuff to practice on, that's a good place to pick them up. You can find a lot of key value books in that dollar bin as well, but they've got a lot of older back issue bins as well. So that may be something. All right. Yeah, Damien. Let's talk soon. Yeah, I'll message you. Again, we're gonna head down there this summer, so really hoping to spend some time with you. Right. Yikes. I mean, tornado season is that's gotta be like stressful. It's like, because I mean, I'm just thinking like, what's the equivalent of that here where I live? We kind of live under the constant like fear of like a big, like, 7, 8 and above magnitude earthquake. They're saying the big one that we're expecting here would be like 11, right? That's the big one they're predicting for this region. And 11 is massive. I mean, that's like your house, kind of like your house just crumbling down on you, kind of force, like roads literally just shaking and being torn apart kind of earthquake. But even in one of those events, I feel like all you'd really have to do is just like run outside. Just run outside and just wait it out. It's not like the worst. I guess the worst scenario would be you're like in a tunnel or something, just like in a skyscraper or something where it's just like you're just being bombarded with like falling debris or building collapses or something like that. But like in my scenario, I just run outside. If I felt something big, I just run outside as fast as I could or get under a table or something. But it's just like it's a little different with tornadoes. I can only imagine, like, right? Yeah, it's like in the hurricane season. Hurricane season is another thing. I'm just like, I don't know how people down in the Gulf areas like deal with that because it's like, the storm's coming and it's kind of like do you just get in your car and drive 100 miles to like a safe area, or do you like, I don't know. It's like, I guess if you get enough advanced warning, you just have to leave, right? You're not going to stick around for that. Um, yeah, there's a lot of damage, like real damage that occurs after one of those events, and so it's just something you got to deal with on a regular basis. And that's scary and stressful. So yeah, Ron, hope you keep us updated, man. I hope you're not just like looking out the window and waiting for that thing to come. Just go somewhere, take shelter, and uh, yikes, yikes. Yeah, some of those like I think they had a category 4 hit, like um was it Jamaica? It was like, I think it was Jamaica, right? Like one of those um, island countries got just slammed. Uh, I want to say last summer, and I mean, you look at the photos of the aftermath, and you're just like, yeah, it's just like there's just nowhere to go at that point. You're just like sheltering somewhere and hoping you just don't die. I mean, it's kind of one of those like situations. It's like, where do you even like? You're in the eye of this huge storm, and where are you gonna fly somewhere like from an island? It kind of is like you're just stuck. Um, but yeah, it could have, in terms of the human toll, it could have been a lot worse. But fortunately, like, people were prepared and they uh, got people evacuated and or people hunkered down or whatever. I guess if you're been through, if that's a seasonal thing for you, there's protocols and things that can help. But that was a scary storm. A lot of damage. They're still dealing with the damage there. But yeah, the human life, uh, the fact that we didn't, it wasn't a bigger catastrophe from a human life perspective is we're pretty lucky. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Let's hope it's a uneventful summer from a natural disaster standpoint. All right. Well, yeah. Jens and I are going to hit up some comic book shops. I should be back with a haul video. Again, I only got $7. if we spend $7, it's got to be good. You know, if I'm going to spend the $7 on something, it's got to be something really good. Otherwise, um, yeah, I'm really more just to hang out with Jens, help him add stuff to his collection, help him dig. I will be looking for stuff for my collection as well, but I doubt I'm gonna find a lot of stuff for $7. Who knows? We may find like the book of our dreams, and it'll cost like $5 or something. Um, there's always a chance for that, but yeah, I hope we hit up All American Comics and then Tacoma. I think we're gonna hit up Comics the Gathering, um, or what is it? Action Comics or something like that. And Jens, we should probably hit up this shop in Federal Way. I think you've been to the shop in Federal Way, but they've got some good dollar. They got a dollar bin. It's not good. They've got a dollar bin. Um, and you can get lucky in the back issues, meaning like you can find some good stuff. But things tend to be over, kind of not, I don't want to say overpriced, but like kind of overpriced to grade, right? A little overpriced to grade. We should hit Stargazer Comics. They've got some bargain bin stuff there too. In fact, yeah, I'm looking forward to hitting up Stargazer because they oftentimes have like older Superman there. So kind of hopeful that I could get like a Neil Adams book, pull a Neil Adams book out of there or something for like a couple bucks. We'll see. But Comics the Gathering has good stuff. If they've refreshed their bins or anything, and they're always doing that. Recently they're picking up some collections and kind of rotating stuff in and out. So I haven't been to Comics the Gathering since last summer, so it should be there should be something there, hopefully. But yeah, that should be fun, and we will show off what we get if we do. If we pick up something, we'll show it off. And yeah, outside of that, we'll be reading some books on Monday. We're getting close to the end of the Reign of Superman, Return of Superman arc. And oh yeah, and also Roger. I got an update from Roger. He's wrapping up improvement on the books we sent. So I think he said he's going to be sending the books early this coming week. So we could get the books by this time next week. We'll probably have the books back by this time next week. And I do want to kind of jump on with him immediately because I know he's got travel plans with his wife. They're planning to go to Portugal. So I don't want to be in a situation where like we don't connect with him before that and he's like off enjoying his vacation and I can't open the books or do anything until he's back. So hopefully when he sends the books, we can jump on and he can enjoy his vacation without me badgering him about when he's getting back. But yeah, that should be I haven't seen the books, but Roger did on one of his what's in the box sessions. He did show off the my books and kind of some of the preliminary or some of the work he's done on it thus far. Um, and yeah, they look fantastic. They look really really fantastic. Um, and again, he just kind of showed them off like this, so it's not like a real detailed view. But I could tell with the Wonder Woman books that all the issues that those two books had uh, were gone, and so yeah, what we're left with is um, a really clean looking book. So I'm just really excited to see um, to get those books back and see um, how he's improved them. And again, from the initial what we've seen, he's done his magic once again, and yeah, looking forward to that. So stay tuned for that. That should be coming. I want to say in the coming weeks. When we get them, we'll just jump on. I don't. I'm not going to wait till Friday or anything. I just as soon as we get those books back, I'll let Roger know and then try to coordinate with him. If he's free that evening, we'll jump on. If he's not, as soon the earliest he can do it, we'll jump on. And yeah, he'll walk us through. He'll just walk us through uh, his process, what he did, and it should be really a real educational session, especially for people who are planning to do cleaning and pressing and all that. I know for me, even though I'm not doing it, I want to do it. And I actually got on Facebook Marketplace to see if there's any, you know, pressing machines um, at a discount. I mean, I could get it used. I think I saw some for like $50. Saw some for $80, and I'm fine with like that price range as well. But I really want to get one that's like free, or like just kind of pick it up for like 10 to maybe 25 at max. Not really pay a lot, but have one that's really going to serve me well for many years. So I'm not trying to buy one per se, but we're just taking our time with that. But at some point, hopefully, we pick something like that up, and then I can really kind of deep dive into doing it. But up until that point, I'm just kind of like trying to learn as much as I can about it. Get a sense of like all the little tricks of the trade and things to avoid. Again, I'm really looking forward to connecting with Jens this weekend and having him, giving him some books to work on, but getting his input on like what's been working for him and what's maybe been some trouble areas for him, and just picking his brain, because I feel like as he's working on books and getting better, and he's kind of my close proximity mentor for when we do get into it, kind of like transitioning me and helping me to get started and do all that. And I already have some confidence in doing it because of Um, Roger's been such a great kind of mentor for that. And I really kind of want to emulate as much of Roger's methods as possible because they're proven. He, I mean, you have to spend on materials and stuff, right? But he has like, um, uh, sort of, I guess like it would be a good starter like kit to get, um, again, some of the backing boards, the non-stick or what is it called? The non uh, stick kind of paper that you use, as well as like some of the wood paste for like sealing some of the rips and tears and whatnot, um, as well as like the eraser materials he uses to really kind of clean a book gently, get a lot of the dirt and residue. I mean, there's a lot of things there that you have to like um, kind of accumulate and keep stocked as you're working on books. So, like again, I think once we get that one key component of the press in, we'll be able to like get our humidity chamber going, get all the materials there to start on the process, and the rest of it is just trial and error. So, um, and again, I just love the fact that I've got um, a guy here locally I can kind of throw ideas off of, and of course Roger, who's already been a tremendous resource for cleaning and pressing. But I just feel like once I get started, if I'm having any issues or any, concerns or anxieties around something, I can toss it his way and get his guidance on how to do it. So, yeah, I feel like probably something I'm going to start focus more and more on. I know I've been kind of putting on the back burner for like retirement, something to do in retirement, whatnot. But I think there's no time like the present to really start doing that because the more you get better at it, when you do retire, you can just kind of just enjoy it rather than have it be like a learning curve. Learn now, and then when you have all the time in the world, you can focus more on the book acquiring and then the improvement process, so that it's there from day one when you can truly enjoy it. But right now, with a lot of time and I already have a lot of books in my collection, it's just a good time to kind of like get that going and get really good at it, and hopefully, you know, s- stick to it so that um, we get to a point where we're really confident with um, our skills. We're not just burning through books or ruining books, right? We get to a point where it's like we know if we have a book of the certain issues that we're coming out of it with all those issues being able to be resolved. So should be good. All right, Ron, Damien, Jens, Fanboy, thanks for joining. Again, final pitch for go check out Comic Tropes channel. at Comic Tropes. He's again one of our community members who uh, is dealing with some unfortunate events, and he needs some help with rebuilding his home from flood damage. So yeah, um, if you can help out, great. If not, just spread the word. Let him know. You can People can contribute to his GoFundMe page, and so hopefully he is able to um, get the necessary funds to rebuild. So hopefully that's something we can all help him out with. All right. Good night, Ron. We'll see you all in the next one. Peace out. Thanks.